Hello everybody, so today, I guess, could we say it's the spring? It is the 14th of March, and look at it, it's sunny, it's bright, it's not cold, and we are pumping slurry. The old one-handed knot, there we go. What we're doing today, we've done this before. So what we do, we lay out all the pipe we got. We go from the store to our farm boundary. We then cross next door's fields, which this year are oilseed rape stubble. And then once we've crossed that, we then end up back in some of our rented land. And we have 50 acres there to spread. And the store is full up, so we've got plenty to be getting on with. And a nice area to spread over. And perfect weather and exactly the right time of year to be doing it. Go on out a bit. Go on a little bit. That's it. So the first of many joints. So the first two pipes we lay out are a 5-inch pipe, and then we go the rest of the way before with the 4-inch. So it's just a bit of a case of laying off and joining up for the next 1200 meters. Or 1400 meters. So what we do, by the time we finish, we shall have 1600 meters laid out. Oh, there's a hair. Nice to see the hair. So what we've got to do, we just got to make sure we don't leave any slack in the pipe anywhere, because we need every inch we got to get way over yonder where we're aiming for. So we've just laid off a whole pipe in the width of this field. You might just see it all wrinkled up back there, because we had to go through a hole in the hedge. And there's a gate. He is going to go up around the top of this hedge, through a gate and back. But by doing that, we have laid them out that way in the past, but we missed out on a whole field at the far end when we get there. So if we come through here, by keeping a direct line as we can, we get our final 3 acres covered. There's a lot of messing about. It makes me puff doing it, but it's well worth it, especially this year when we're in the old fertilizer job. Right, so we're connected back to the reeler. He's just pulling it through now. So we'll just get to the far side of the field, watch him while he pulls all the slack up, and then go and get our reeler and the dribble bar and go up to watch. So we'll end up where we're spreading, and he's still crossing this rape. Well, so this is oilseed rape stubble. It's been grazed off by sheep all winter. As you can see, apart from the thistle, everything is grazed off flat. And this block, it's going into maize this year. So, but there's nothing to do with us. We're just borrowing a passageway across. Yep, right, just pull it a bit more. Right, that's it. That's out. Right out. Yeah, right out. So we have arrived on our rented ground. So as you can see, it's actually looking very good. There's a whole heap of grass here. So the one we've just driven past, that one up there, and so that is the 3 acres I was saying. If we don't go through the hedge, we can't reach that. So that's why we do it. But it's looking a bit wet, but equally it's looking a bit yellow. If we can get on it, it needs a slurry. If we can get on it, but the rest of it should be all right. Certainly this one, yeah, I'm not marking this, but that one does tend to lie a little bit wet. But we'll have no pipe left on by then, so we will be as light as we can. But it's going to be one of them make up as we go along job. So just go through this final gate. Diagonally across to that corner, you probably won't see it, but the tractor is just the other side. So what we'll do, we will pass a pipe through. He will pull that back to wherever he wherever his pipe ended up. It's kind of half a pipe will go back through the hedge, and then we will roll ours out. He will go back, take the reeler off, put the pump on, and by then I should be ready. And we'll get pumping. So we'll just get on the line we want to back away from, back towards another gate. About there. Right, so he's got enough slack now. Start pulling it backwards. I don't know, I didn't ask how much he's got. He kind of gets, like I say, half a pipe away. So he's backing away now. I'm just going to ease back so I can see what's going on more than anything. Actually, the pipe's still moving. So it should mean he's got there. Stop going. There we go. Hello. Hello.
Right, put it back slightly.
Hang on. Right, is that it?
Yeah, that's it.
Righto. Right, so now our big rollout starts. So we've got a bit more in. I don't think he quite took half a pipe through there, so that's good. Gives us more to play with this end. So what we're going to do, we're going to start in the farthest away field from this corner, and then work our way back, and then go that way. Okay, so we are now on the move in the first field. So this is a little 3-acre field that we can't reach unless we go through the hedge. So it is a little bit wet along the bottom, so we're not going to get, hopefully we're going to keep out of the wet bit, but cover as much as we can. Because this is the worst looking one, whether that's because it is a little bit, it does tend to lie a little bit wetter. But that's the benefit of knowing, doing our own ground. We know our own fields. We know where the wet bits are, where we can take a chance on getting, and where we just leave it alone. That's the benefit of. You can't expect a contractor who's in a different farm every day. You just won't know it. You just can't expect anybody to remember all that kind of stuff year on year when you're covering thousands of acres. Right, so we're done spreading for today. It is milking time, so, well, very nearly. We'll just roll up and move the pipes, ready to go on again tomorrow. As you can see, it's twisted up pretty bad. There we go. So just rolling out into the next field. So this field is interesting because behind us is a pond. So we're going to have to go around that tomorrow. And down that hedge line there, just out, is a wet gutter. So we'll be getting nowhere near that. Because, we don't want to sink. And more importantly, we don't want to make a mess. That is the benefit of the fertiliser spreader. It will, drive along the dry bit and it will spread over where it's too wet to drive. But we don't have that luxury today, or with this machine. But there we are. We've got to make the best of what we got. And also, you probably can't see from there's a tree down in the hedge. That was old storm, whatever it was, a bit ago. So that's something else to be tidied up. So that is it. We will regroup tomorrow. Right, so it is now the next morning. We are back for day 2. Before I set off with the dribble bar, ready to start spreading again. 550 has a little job to do today. So, regular viewers will know we store the slurry in a slurry tower, and you get a crust on that, and we have a through the wall stirrer, so the Kubota will be going on the stirrer later on, mixing it up, but as that mixes in and the level drops down, the slurry is going to get thicker. Now on a long pump like we're doing today, thick slurry doesn't go very well, so we have got a pit full of dirty water, kind of parlour washings, with a pump, So I'm going to put the 550 on the pump now, and then later in the day, if it gets too thick, Dad can just start up and get running, pump some more water in. So hopefully you'll see some of that, but anyway, let's get it set up before we get going. Just do the oil and water check. So I can't turn the camera around because behind the camera is a future Vintage Thursday project. You're not seeing that yet, and that's coming up. So we're hitched on. Just a quick note, PTO seal not leaking. That was a successful job. So here we have behind a pit full of parlour washings, so that can be pumped up into the tower later on in the day. So the dribble bar is serviced up, greased up, ready to go. I'll just get me dinner and I'll see you in the field.
Just putting a pipe on it there. He wouldn't have got there yet, would it? Aye. Slurry wouldn't have got there that quick. What if it is? I hope you were filming. Oh, that's still recording.
Right, so we are now just approaching the end of the first field of the day. As we've done all of that behind, we've gone around the pond, just this little bit here to the trackway to go. So once we finish here, 2 or 3 more passes will do it, and we will drop off the final pipe, pick up the one that's by the pond somewhere, pull it back through the gate to do the next field. We will leave the pipe here, just lay down. We'll pick it up when we move into the top 3, because I don't want to be carrying any extra weight. We'll just leave it here and pick it up when we need it, not carry it about, because there's some, again, the soft spots next door, and just don't want to be running through them. Just don't want to be running through those soft bits with any unnecessary weight on. So that's the plan. Right, so we have dropped the pipe off. We are now joined back on to the pipe just there, and you can't see it because the dribble bar is in the way. So the pipe is now trailing behind us. So it shouldn't kink. There's no pressure in it, but hopefully, because we're pulling it back along itself, it shouldn't give us any problems. And there's no need to reel it up, it's a waste of time. So if we can do this, if it works, I think it might. Alright, here we go. We just, as you can see there, we've got a little spurter. Let's go and investigate what's going on there. Right, so we're through, just waiting for the pump to get going again. And we're leaking. Hello? Yeah, it did leak a bit at the start, but it's stopped now, so we're alright.
Where that leaking from then?
I don't know, well it was where I connected the pipe up to the back of the coupling, so I don't know, but it's not leaking now. When it's under pressure, it's alright.
Well, where you at meeting now?
Yeah.
Oh, you're up. Pick up the 2 boats where you
Yeah, I should have to have a major roll-up session to move up to the top then.
Right.
So we are on the move again. So we've got a nice rectangular field here, nice and easy, and hopefully the pipe will follow us back, follow on through the gate. We can just see it. It shouldn't cause us any bother. Yeah, pipe is through the gate now, so we are got a clear run. Right, so that's 2 fields done. I've just got out to drop the pipe off on the last field, and what I do, I keep in the toolbox a screwdriver for undoing the clamps, the bower clamps. Occasionally they're a bit tight. Realised I left it back in the previous field, but it's okay, because there it is, look, waiting for me to come back and rescue it. It's a good job we weren't led down, else I'd never find that again. Right, 2 pipes to roll up, and then we will rejig. Set it in the 2 fields over there. Put him in there safely. And then we will get rolling. Right, so we are all connected up, ready to go. So we are now at the highest point on this block of land. It's not a hill, we can't call it a hill, but it's the highest we go. And this is what's going to knock back the output on the pump. A long run with a bit of a rise. It's not going to go so well as it did when we were down on the flatter fields. You're all going to laugh at me for calling this a hill, but a bit of a rise in the ground level does make a difference when you're pumping. It just puts a lot more pressure on, increases the friction, and it's all going to go. It's not much, it's probably 30 or 40 foot above this pump, but it's a mile away, and that's a long old rise. Back on the go again. So as the level in the tower's dropping, it's starting to mix up. The crust on the top is breaking up and stirring in, and we're pumping, like I said, first thing this morning. 550 is pumping, it's running the water in to the tower, mixing it all up, because we don't want it thick, especially on a long run like this. It's got to be kept thin. So that is why we kept hold of that pit full of water to mix it in at the end, and that is what's going in now. So if you saw last week's video, which was the update on the milled rape straw bedding that we produced back in January. So we did a video of the hammer mill in January, and in that video I said I would, give it a while and see how it actually turned out. So that was last week's video. One of the questions on there was, you know, how does that milled straw, how does it behave in your slurry system? Well, we've been on it for 2 months now, and you have just seen the video of the slurry tower before and after. So there was quite a thick crust. I think any bedding does that. It's like, you know, either sinks to the bottom if it's heavy like sand, or it floats to the top. Sawdust and straw, basically. So unless you're mixing every day with a bubbler like what old Tom Pemberton got, he's got the bubbler thing in the bottom. If you've got one of them, obviously you don't get no issues. We haven't, we've just got a through the wall stirrer. So you've seen the before and after, and we can now confirm it goes through the system very well. You can see we're still pumping. We are getting pretty thick now, but it's still coming along the pipeline, spreading out just nicely. So to answer that question, it is perfect in our system. I don't see why it would be different in anybody else's. So there's a little answer to that question. So I think we've probably got a bit of a long video now, so I think we're going to call it a day here, just to stop things getting too long. So I will say thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a comment and all that, and the Instagram link should be below, hopefully, if I remember to put it in. So thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.